Sarah and Daniel had been married for 12 years. They met in college, two dreamers who believed love could solve anything. And for a while, it did. But life has a way of changing the rhythm of things. Sarah worked as a nurse, long hours, overnight shifts, holidays spent in hospital corridors. Daniel ran his own small construction business, unpredictable work, constant stress. Slowly, the laughter faded into routine. Conversations became short, dinner became silent. They lived under the same roof, but in different worlds. Every night, Sarah came home exhausted, only to find Daniel asleep on the couch with his laptop open. And every morning, Daniel woke up early, only to find a cold cup of coffee and a note. Be safe today. Even their love, once full of warmth, now felt like a light flickering in a storm. It started with little things. A forgotten anniversary, a missed call, a fight about nothing that became everything. One evening, Sarah found an unfamiliar number on Daniel's phone. Just a name, Claire. Her heart sank. When she asked, his voice trembled. "She's a client," he said. "We're working on a renovation project." But Sarah couldn't shake the doubt. The tone in his voice wasn't guilt, it was distance. The next week, Daniel came home late again, smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't hers. She didn't say a word. She just went to bed, turned off the light and faced the wall. Weeks passed. They spoke less, fought more. Sarah cried quietly in the bathroom some nights, wondering where the man she loved had gone. Daniel sat alone in his truck, replaying old voicemails of her laughter. One night, after another argument, Sarah whispered the words that hung heavy between them. "Maybe we need some time apart." Daniel didn't answer. He just stared at the floor. She packed a small bag and went to stay with her sister. The house felt emptier than ever. Days turned to weeks. Daniel tried calling, texting, apologizing, but Sarah barely responded. He found himself cleaning the house one night, as if tidying the rooms could fix the silence inside him. When he opened her drawer, he found a small envelope, yellowed at the edges, never opened. It was addressed to him. He hesitated, then tore it open. "Daniel, if you're reading this, it means we've reached a place I prayed we never would. I don't know when we stopped talking. I just know I miss you. Not the man you've become, but the man who used to dance with me in the kitchen. I don't want to leave. I just want to be seen again." Daniel sat there for hours, the letter trembling in his hands. He realized that while he had been building homes for strangers, he had stopped building one with her. He drove to her sister's house that night, but when he got there, she wasn't home. It was raining hard. Visibility was low. Sarah was driving home from the hospital after a double shift when her car skidded on the wet road. The next thing she remembered was the sound of shattering glass and sirens. Daniel got the call just past midnight. For a moment he couldn't breathe. Everything around him blurred. When he reached the hospital, Sarah was awake but bruised, her arm in a sling. She looked at him, eyes red. "I'm okay," she whispered. "You don't have to be here." He took her hand gently. "Yes, I do." And for the first time in months, she didn't pull away. The weeks that followed were quiet, different quiet. Daniel took time off work. He made her breakfast, drove her to therapy sessions, stayed up with her during the nights she couldn't sleep. They talked again, awkward at first, but honest. He confessed about Claire, not an affair, but a client who'd simply listened when he felt invisible. "I didn't cheat," he said. "But I did drift." And Sarah looked at him for a long moment. "I stopped listening too," she said softly. "We both forgot how to care. It wasn't forgiveness yet, but it was the beginning of it." Months later, Sarah found the same envelope, now empty, on the kitchen counter. Inside it, Daniel had placed a new note. "Sarah, I never realized home wasn't the house we lived in. It was the sound of your laughter, the smell of your coffee, the light in your eyes. I don't just want to fix what broke. I want to build something stronger, together." Tears fell, but this time they didn't hurt. She went to him, handed him her hand and said, "Then let's start again." Months later, Sarah found the same envelope, now empty, on the kitchen counter. Inside it, Daniel had placed a new note. "Sarah, I never realized home wasn't the house we lived in. It was the sound of your laughter, the smell of your coffee, the light in your eyes. I don't just want to fix what broke. I want to build something stronger, together." Tears fell, but this time they didn't hurt. She went to him, handed him her hand and said, "Then let's start again." It was a Sunday morning, bright and warm. Daniel was cooking pancakes, burning most of them, when Sarah turned on their old song, "Can't Help Falling in Love." He laughed, shaking his head. "You still remember this?" "I never forgot." He held out his hand. She took it. And there, in the same kitchen where their love had once fallen silent, they began to dance again. Not perfectly, not like before, but with a softness that only forgiveness can create. Sometimes love doesn't need to be found, it just needs to be remembered. Even when love fades, it isn't gone, it's buried beneath pride, fear, and silence. If you choose to listen, to forgive, and to try again, love finds its way back home.